Akim Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
Glad to have you join me again on another fresh package of House Ticket. I am Binta Magaji, your guide. The long break of the lawmakers is in its third week now, and so our review of landmark legislations, motions and committee activities continues. Efficient regulation of the broadcast industry in Nigeria in the face of the clamor for free press. What is the stand of the Ninth House on this matter, and what steps have been taken to ensure that values, ethics, favorable competition or play out according to stipulated rules and regulations? This is one of the focal points of our review on this episode of House Ticket. Also in this package is a call for strategies to achieve set objectives for the betterment of the nation through constitutional review. These are more as the program begins after this short break. Stay with us.
We set our minds right, embrace each other in love and brotherhood. We will come through these troubling times. We will survive, we will recover, and then we will thrive. One nation under God, free, peaceful, and prosperous.
We'll start off the program by reviewing the sitting of the ad hoc committee set up to investigate and uncover financial mismanagement where projects and funds already executed by federal government keep recurring every year in the national budget. The probe is to cover the period between 2015 to 2021. The report.
The ad hoc committee, during the investigations of the capital projects executed and funds repeated in the Appropriation Act from 2015 till date by ministries, departments and agencies of government across the nation, had emphasized that waste of government resources in the public sector is intolerable. Hence, a detailed report of all the projects will help in self-accounting and reduction of corruption in public offices. This was re-echoed during the opening ceremony, where the Speaker was represented to declare the probe open.
It is to the legislature that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria assigns control of the public purse of the Federation. The appropriation power of Parliament also comes with a duty to ensure that funds provided in the budget are used in the intended manner and in accordance with the rules and regulations that govern the management of public finances. The objective, as well as always, is to ensure public accountability and transparency.
The committee expressed its concern on the low turnout of government officials to respond to the issues at hand. 4 agencies were invited for the opening, but only 2 appeared, being the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and the National Universities Commission (NUC). And so, the committee took on the 2 agencies available as they agreed that to arrest economic challenges, attain full implementation of national budgets and ensure fiscal prudence and assurance of transparency at all times, there is need for such a probe. When the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) sat before the lawmakers, represented by the Director of Finance and Accounts of the Commission, he presented a detailed performance and account of the projects executed as requested by the committee.
Appendix 1 captures summary of capital budget 2015 to 2021, appropriation, for release, funds utilized. Appendix 2, the Appropriation Act 2015 to 2021. Appendix 3, we have a list of projects for 2015 to date. Appendix 4, we have releases that we print from the GiveMe's platform, showing all personnel, overhead, and capital. Releases from 2015 to 2021. Appendix 5, these are procurement procedures for award of contract from 2015 to date. Appendix 6. These are evidence of payment to contractors year by year, 2015, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, and 2015. They are marked Appendix 6A to G.
The lawmakers reacted to the Commission's presentation.
I believe we should accept it and review it, and if there is the need to call their attention back again, we should do so. So I move that they should be discharged but not acquitted.
I really appreciate your submission, and I thank you. I wanted to say that other agencies emulate your type of submission. My honorable colleagues will go through. If there is a need to re-invite you to speak to any of your documents, we will do so. So at this point, we said we ask you to bow and go. Thank you.
For the National Universities Commission, NUC, the lawmakers took on the agency over its tabulation format and mode of presentation of the projects executed under the years being probed.
You cannot determine the funds appropriated to you from 2015 till date without actually knowing and comparing from your submission with what we obtained from Ministry of Finance. The appropriations from 2015 till date, we have it. But we want you to tell us what you have from your record so that we put them at par to see where do we have duplication of Appropriation Act. Again, what is equally important, as mentioned by the chairman, details of fund release from 2015 till date is not all provided. Only few details are given to us based on the records that we have with us. You cannot again know that maybe in 2020 or 2019, the project you have, capital project you have, was funded 80%, and it appear again in 2020 budget, funded again 80%. You can only determine that if we have the records of releases from Federal Ministry of Finance to our own agency. So we want to know why those two most important details were not given.
We have the practice that whenever we are making submission to this Honorable House and the Senate, we always put the letter telling us what I want to bring. If you look at that letter, sir, we try to obey your instructions. There is no specific item that requested us to bring the appropriation, to attach the appropriation acts. Otherwise, we'll have photocopied them and submitted. If you check the letter here, sir, it's not listed here. And secondly, sir,
If you check the letter that we are talking before you,
yes, sir.
confirm it is inform you, even the heading
Yes,
of
sir.
the committee,
Yes, sir.
the Appropriation Act is there specifically. It's mentioned specifically. Yes, that
Sorry,
covers all that you are saying. How we are talking of appropriations? How can you speak of something that is not been given to you or you didn't appropriate?
So if you look at the list of required things that we are expecting from you, I think it is clearly mentioned. It's just that it's not being called appropriation. It says capital projects from completed ongoing from 2015 till date, and their level, their status at present.
No trouble, sir.
So it's there.
Lawmakers were still not satisfied with the director's answers to the issues raised. They insisted on getting it right with the agency.
Going by this, your summary said, you didn't indicate each year there is budgetary cut on each capital item and any amount allocated to it. Yes. So we need that. It's very, very important.
Assuming a project appear in your budget of 2015, construction and provision of office building or office equipment, and National Assembly in 2015 appropriated 100 million for you, for instance,
you are able to access 50 million. In 2016, you bring up the same project, for instance, and NAS appropriated another 100 million for you instead of 50, and you access 50%. In 2016, in one way or the other, unless there is variation that require you adjusting the figure of what has been appropriated for you due to changes in price, that National Assembly can tolerate that. The same title of project keep on appearing until you give us the record, comprehensive record of financial releases from the Ministry of Finance, that will be able to know, did you stick to the price that was earlier appropriated, or money on those projects keep on increasing year by year? This is what this committee is up to. Because whether you like it or not, we have noticed repetition of the same project item from 2017, 2018, and 2019.
If you look at page 4 here, which is Asonic Associates, the contract sum was 8 million, but in 2015 we got 5 million. In 2017, it was rolled over, not funded, but in 2017 it was concluded that year. So for each project, sir, we tell you the contract sum based on the template, the amount appropriated for it, the amount released. So there and then, you're able to see whether... Exactly, sir. It's there, sir. So I want to grab your attention, sir. If this template does not address this your request, sir, then we can go further to do more, sir.
I would also want him to go and present these matters in that format that you think will show us clearly. Otherwise, what you have presented rather buttresses the reason why we are sitting here. So while you are bringing the budget template, the budget itself, the appropriation, you need to prepare something that shows these details of these things that apparently appears repeated.
The committee therefore reached a decision to give more time to the NUC.
Even though how you are putting it, you are not coding it based on the budgetary codes. You are not putting the EPGRA. You are not putting it. No, you are just putting your own code. NUC, SEC, 2, this and that. Get your budget here. Okay. It's not what is there. We have the record here. We demanded all your information from the budget office. The release is given to you. Okay. So please, we know what we are talking about. Even if you are saying the same code, you are talking of completion of office extension in the NUC Secretariat, furniture and equipment, 49 million. Then you continue, completion of office extension in the NUC Secretariat, maintenance. Maintaining what? 6 million. Yes. What are you talking about? So please, try and go and coordinate yourself, extract all those informations, code them according to what the template is talking about.
Yes. You are page 1, 2015. Office extension building plan fee, 1.8 million. If you go to page 4, you will see another office extension, although that one is building plan, which is 10 million. But why chairman say you keep on repeating is, the project was completed in 2017. You wonder where is the record of that project in 2016. I think this committee needs to be thorough.
The NUC therefore left to return at a later scheduled date. The committee at the end of the opening day of the investigation spoke on the ongoing probe and the expectations that the investigation is to achieve for the interest of the country.
The budget now is envelope budgeting. What you are trying to curtail or to stop is when you are given an envelope, there are agencies that are within your ministry that they are in need of this fund. But because it's an envelope, you keep on putting the fund into that budgetary code because you cannot create a code. It is a template the budget office is giving you to input the envelope given to you. So please, you are repeating budget yearly after yearly.
Glad to have you still there. Before the break, we reviewed the work of the ad hoc committee set up to probe the repeated occurrence of executed projects in the national budget, seeing how the Ninth House of Representatives is encouraging agencies of government to collaborate more with lawmakers for the prudent allocation of funds for all-round development. Still on committee works, and in reviewing their activities in the Ninth House, we move on to the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values. Our focus is on its work to give Nigerian press a working environment in keeping with the 21st century. Towards this laudable objective, the committee held a 2-day public hearing where it considered 5 bills, namely, a bill for an act to amend the National Broadcasting Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to strengthen the commission and make it more efficient to regulate broadcasting in Nigeria, to provide for payment of all monies received by the commission into the Federation account in accordance with Section 162 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, and encourage liberal openness and favorable competition in the industry and for related matters. A bill for an act to repeal the Advertising Practitioners Registration Act 2004 and enact the Advertising Practitioners Registration Licensing Bill for establishing of a council for advertising practitioners as the apex regulatory authority for the Nigerian advertising profession and practice, and ensure smooth operation of the council and for related matters. A bill for an act to repeal the National Film and Video Censors Board Act 2004 and enact the National Film and Video Censorship Classification and Exhibition Regulatory Commission Bill for classification of film video works, musical videos and video games, and for related matters. There's also a bill for an act to the Nigerian Press Council Act 2004 to remove bottlenecks affecting its performance and make the council in tune with current realities in regulating the press and for related matters, as well as a bill which seeks to establish the Institute of Translators and Interpreters and for related matters. In the Speaker's address, he encouraged participants of the public hearing to collaborate with their legislators in making sure that all legislations that emerges from public engagement produce laws of high quality for the benefit of Nigeria and Nigerians. He then spoke on the importance of the legislations under consideration for the Nigerian country. The Speaker was represented.
Each of the bills under consideration seeks to significantly alter the statutory framework of media, advertising, and intellectual property regulation in Nigeria. If these bills become law, the proposals contained therein will influence the creation of media content. They will determine the content of advertising, guarantee free speech, and establish institutions that will impact our country for generations to come, are in the best interest of the Nigerian people and do not impose liabilities on our people or create the conditions that will allow for infringements on the human rights of the Nigerian citizens.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, kick-started the presentation of views and opinions. He spoke on the bill seeking amendment to the National Broadcasting Act, which seeks for payment of monies received by the Commission into the Federation account.
We have a problem with this because this seems not to be in line with the thinking of the executive, that very soon the NBC would exit the number of parastatals that whose salaries are paid by the federal government. In other words, very soon NBC will need to be paying its own salaries and will have to pay for all its overheads and all its operations. So if that is the way the executive is thinking, then it will be a drawback if we now pay everything into the treasury single account. It means then that the government then will have to pay our salaries and pay all our needs.
However, he recommended the addition of a clause to the Broadcasting Act being amended, stipulating that internet broadcasting and all online media should be included under the monitoring and regulative powers of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC. The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, which was present, adopted the position of the Ministry of Information and Culture on the NBC Act, while the International Press Center also spoke on the Act, amongst others.
The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission Act is indeed more technically equipped to handle the kind of matters being dabbled to in here, being a specialized agency established for that specific purpose. And so we feel that giving the NBC the sole right over tariff issues, which cannot be interfered with, could be interpreted as an abstract clause that arrogates to it arbitrary powers that cannot even be challenged in the law court. So our recommendation in this regard is that the two subsections highlighted above should be removed from the proposed amendment bill of the National Broadcasting Act.
The gaps that we have recognized are actually gaps having to do with the independence of the regulator in this act. All over the world, the international standard is that the broadcasting regulator should stand as an independent entity, recognized in law as such, able to perform all the functions of a regulator. And that is not happening in Nigeria, and this law has not made such provisions.
Still in the NBC Act, Voice of Nigeria as an organization sought for inclusion.
We are trying to upgrade our services to compete favorably with our colleagues. And by law, we are not allowed to generate funds or collect adverts. So it will not be fair if a child is not treated like the other children. So we humbly appeal that we are included and allocated 10% as our sister agencies.
The representations of views on the bill seeking the establishment of a council for advertising practitioners as the apex regulatory authority. The bill, when passed into law, will cover registration, licensing of advertising practitioners.
We welcome this amendment because it is well overdue. We believe that this coming bill should try to harmonize the advertising vetting process. The vetting process currently is a little bit cumbersome because after getting clearance from APCON, my members still need to get clearances from other regulatory bodies. We believe that if this bill can harmonize the vetting process, with a good relationship with other bodies, it will be helpful for the flow of regulation and the process, and to make it easier.
Our proposition, Ratau, is that if the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria finds credible individuals who are appointed into the board of the Commission, it will only be appropriate that board be allowed to grant approval of licenses on behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Such licenses, so approved, shall be communicated to the President periodically through the Office of the Supervising Honorable Minister. The Office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is so busy that bothering it further with issuing approvals for licenses will not be too appropriate.
Stakeholders also made submissions on the bill seeking to establish the Institute of Translators and Interpreters, amongst others.
As far back as 2001, the Nigerian House of Representatives has been presenting this bill. We keep moving for it. Our aim is that we would translate all these sciences right from the primary one down to senior secondary school, so that at the end of when all these books, when a students of any school in Nigeria would have his science books in English and science books in Hausa, right from primary one.
After taking more submissions from all stakeholders present at the hearing, the lawmakers promised to diligently work on the bill amidst further consideration.
That will come out, and Nigerians and Nigeria will be happy.
Just before we go, let us review some activities from the Office of the Speaker in recent times. At a meeting of the Conference of Presiding Officers of Nigerian Legislators in Abuja, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, had called for a strategic collaboration between the National Assembly and the 36 state houses of assembly to make the ongoing review of the 1999 Constitution successful. The Speaker said the legislature remains the most important arm of government in any democratic dispensation by virtue of being closer to the people at the grassroots. Hence, the intention of the review is to address the foundational deficiencies in the Constitution that continues to mitigate against the attainment of an honorable, peaceful, and universally prosperous Nigeria. He further called on the state lawmakers to use the opportunity of the Constitution review when it gets to the state assemblies to agree uniformly on the things Nigerians wish to achieve so that the nation can begin to devise strategies through which it can reach set objectives for the betterment of the nation. The President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, and the Clerk to the National Assembly, Architect Ojo Olatunde Amos, attended the conference as well. Many thanks for spending your time with us on House Ticket. And remember, do protect yourself from COVID-19 by abiding by all safety protocols as stipulated by the Federal Ministry of Health. Let us meet again next time for more on the activities of the 9th House of Representatives. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.